extend a warm welcome to all who are connected to us virtually on this auspicious occasion of inauguration of this two-day international interdisciplinary peace conference on World COVID-19, which is proving to be a big threat to humanity, giving birth to unknown and unpredictable challenges for which we all will have to find solutions. It's a moment of
Very good morning to all leading academicians, scientists, resource persons, research scholars across the globe, delegates, and participants. I'd like to express my gratitude to former President of India, Honorable Srimati Pratibha Patil, our patron, our Vice Chancellor, Honorable Muralidhar Chandekarji, and both our principals, Dr. Pradnya Yadav and Dr. Priya Rajput, who have organized this seminar, this program. I'm also pleased to be part of this august gathering. I welcome everybody on this occasion of the inauguration of International Conference on World with COVID-19, Humanity at Threat.
I welcome you all to this international e-conference on the current COVID-19 pandemic. This unseen enemy has created a global health crisis that has had a deep impact on the way we perceive our world and our everyday life. It has affected every sector of our economy. It has not only affected all sectors, but also is being a threat to mankind itself. It has rapidly spread around the world and is posing enormous health, economic, environmental, and social challenges to the entire. The year 2008 was declared as a global financial crisis. 2020 is primarily being considered a health crisis. International bodies like the UN and WHO have recognized that the coronavirus is threatening the entire human race and have launched a humanitarian response that includes an appeal to collect $2 billion for the world's poorest people. My heart goes and my prayers to those who have lost their lives on account of this terrorism. Today, scientists worldwide are collaborating in research to find a vaccine and are proactive in sharing their clinical findings. Many countries endorse preventive measures to fight these diseases. The current pandemic too can be combated through such preventive measures. Social and behavioral norms have changed. Social distancing, wearing masks, maintaining hygiene, etc. are being adopted and society is accepting them as the new normal amid the current crisis. Environment change is one of the biggest and most vital challenges of the 21st century. In spite of all our efforts to restore balancing, during last few decades, humans could only move a few steps forward. But during the last few months resulting from the lockdown, we have seen the reduced high levels of pollution, which has had a positive impact on reversing global climate change. Whatever be the cause or origin, the occurrence of COVID-19 has emphasized the need to improve the mutually effective connectivity. I hope as you deliberate in various sessions over the next 2 days, you will come up with innovative short and long-term solutions for the challenges being faced by humanity due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I wish this conference all success and pay compliments to the organizers. Thank you.
For our technical sessions for the day. So our first plenary session, we have with us Dr. Professor Prashant Amritkar, who is Dean, Faculty of Humanities and Social Science in Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University.
Before Corona and after Corona. It's far too early to make an sweeping pronouncement on how the world will change after the coronavirus pandemic process, or if it will change at all. But one area to look at is global cooperation and leadership. The COVID-19 pandemic began as a global health crisis. As it spread rapidly across the nations, country after country responded with a lockdown, triggering a global economic crisis.
Thank you, Amrutkar sir. It was really a thought-provoking session of yours.
Thank you.
We would proceed forward. Today, for the second session, we have Dr. Anamika Misra. Anamika madam already has joined us since the first session itself. And Dr. Anamika Misra, who is currently serving as a program coordinator and a lecturer of social work at Higher College of Technology, a federal government university at the United Arab Emirates.
Thank you very much. As I said earlier, I would be trying to present a psychological perspective on COVID-19 and how it has impacted the world in general and UAE society in specific. COVID-19, as we know it now, was basically diagnosed as a pneumonia of unknown cause in Wuhan in December 2019 or earlier. The reports on the same are still awaited social level. In the slide, as you can see, I've tried to collect some signage because when we look at COVID-19 from a sociological perspective, it will show us a change in the habits, change in public communication, change in the way people behave around each other. The whole concept of personal space has changed. As you can see, the signages have changed to ensuring that people are 2 meters apart at all times. Internet communication, as you can see in the emojis over here, has changed as well. There was a restaurant in New York which was distributing the floating noodles to the customers so that they can ensure that they're maintaining distance from each other. The public signage in most of the organizations has changed. Basically, we are looking at a new normal here, the way the world has changed. And to be able to understand this, I would like to put this into the context of Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory. Just to give a bit of information about the theory for those who are not from psychology background. Bronfenbrenner was an American psychologist, and he basically was studying children in their systems, in the context, whether it's about the family or larger context. And his theory tells us that if we were to really understand the impact of any phenomenon on a person, we should be able to understand how it's impacting different systems or different contexts in their life.
Thank you so much. I, Ashwani Rathi, on behalf of Vidya Bharati Shakshnik Mandal, welcome you all. Today is the day 2 of International Interdisciplinary E-Conference on World with COVID-19, the humanity a threat, challenges and solutions. Dr. Abhin Hoja has already joined us. Welcome, sir. Welcome to our session today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Dr. Abhin Hoja, he is an educationalist, non-profit and administration professional with several years of experience in education, administration and management. Presently, sir is an assistant professor at the York College, the City University of New York, USA.
State. So the total population of the United States is 328 million, out of which like 76.5% are whites, 13.4% are Black or African American, like 5.9% are Asian, 0.2% are Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islanders. In the same way, 1.3% are American Indian and Alaskan natives, and 18.3% are Hispanics or Latino, and 2 or more races, like around 2%. That is the demographic structure of the United States of America. the minorities groups or how this pandemic is affected, or the people are affected by the pandemic during the this time, this situation. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It is indeed sad to know the scenario which is going on due to the pandemic all over the world. Professor Raja Dikshit, an emeritus professor, he is currently heading the Department of History, Savitribai Phule University, Pune.
Red and white. In this tradition, there were two types of trends, ideological as well as methodological. Both history and historiography have progressed in a dialectical manner. Hence, it is obvious that the new trends of both the types will be emerging in the post-corona period too. I shall be dealing with that aspect and discussing the challenges and possibilities and also the opportunities. Some people might think that how could there be any relationship between a particular disease and the age-old academic discipline like history. In that case, I would simply say that such people are viewing history conventionally and are unable to understand the multifacetedness of history. तसंच तंत्रज्ञानातल्या प्रगतीमुळे म्हणजे हल्ली आपण काही वेळा शब्दप्रयोग वापरायला लागलोय, जसं लिटरसी म्हणतो ना आपण, तसं टेक्नसी असा एक शब्दप्रयोग आलाय. टेक्नसी असली पाहिजे. म्हणजे मला आठवतंय काही वर्षापूर्वी मला संगणक सुद्धा वापरता येत नव्हता. आय वॉज टोटली कॉम्प्युटर इलिटरेट अ फ्यू इयर्स बॅक. पण आता बघा की आणि कोरोनानी काय बदल घडवलाय बघा. आपण जी साधनं आता मी सांगत होतो ती वापरत होतो, नाही असं नाही, पण या कोरोनाच्या काळामध्ये या साधनांचा वापर प्रचंड प्रमाणात वाढलेला आहे. आता सेमिनार्सची जागा वेबिनार्सनी घेतली, कॉन्फरन्सेसची जागा ई कॉन्फरन्सेसनी घेतली. अशा कितीतरी गोष्टी आहेत. म्हणजे हे जे सगळं आहे कोरोना युगामध्ये या माध्यमांचा वापर अगदी साध्या शाळेतल्या लहान मुलांसाठी सुद्धा आता या माध्यमांमधनं अध्यापन केलं जायला लागलंय, हे आपण अनुभवतोय. तेव्हा या माध्यमांचा जो वापर आहे तो आपल्याला अंगी बाणवावा लागेल. येत असो नसो तो आता आपल्याला अंगी बाणवायला लागेल. त्याच्याशी एकंदर ओळख करून घेऊन मैत्री साधून आपल्याला जुन्या आणि नव्या अशा दोन्ही प्रकारच्या पद्धतींचा मेळ घालून ऑफलाईन आणि ऑनलाईन अशा दोन्ही प्रकारच्या साधनांचा मेळ घालून आपलं यापुढचं इतिहास लेखन करावं लागणार आहे. इतिहास नव्याने लिहिणं ही आपल्याला मिळालेली फार मोठी संधी आहे आणि ते तेवढंच एक मोठं आव्हान आहे. तेव्हा आपण ही संधी साधूया आणि हे जे आव्हान आहे ते पेलूया. सो आय कन्क्लूड by thanking you all with a request to take care, stay safe, and defeat Corona. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. What should I say? It was such a structured session in 1 hour. I mean, not even 1 hour. In 40 minutes, you covered right from Darwin's theory of evolution to Gandhism to how to change the world. You also covered, it was such a refreshing session to get a different view, the historical aspect of this deadly disease, COVID-19. Then let us move on to our fifth plenary session. Dr. Joe Thomas has already joined us long. Dr. Joe Thomas is an accomplished development professional, academician, public policy expert, and human rights activist.
To speak about coronavirus and the pandemic created by the coronavirus, the COVID-19, and its implication. And particularly, I'll be speaking about who is left out of the development process because of the COVID pandemic. And at the onset, I must say that I would like to congratulate the organizers for selecting this particular issue because of two reasons. One is the identification that people are being left out itself is a positive sign. That means it's an acknowledgement that some people are left out. And the second is also important because we are also thinking about the post-coronavirus reconstruction era. In that time, what are the policies and programs should be in place in the context of the post-reconstruction of the the social fabrics? So from this two point of view, the selection of this particular topic is very important, very appropriate, and very timely. I congratulate them. This process, I'll be selecting three population groups and some of the issues which are being left out because of the pandemic. And these three, I'll be looking at how the COVID pandemic is impacting on children and how that is impacting on women's health, and how that is impacting on older population. So these are the three population groups I'll be looking at how it is impacting, how they are left out from the development process. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. You definitely gave a distinguished overview about this global pandemic, which is creating a very havoc situation today.
This is a very great honor for me to present some closing remarks. And of course, I only regret that with the topic of the conference notwithstanding, we couldn't all be together in one room and meet and shake hands. However, I acknowledge that with all the changes and upheaval that is happening, mediums and the ability for people to come together in e-conferences like this do bring about some good, like being able to connect with colleagues overseas and share ideas and start to have more discussions are more likely to become commonplace. And I look forward to continued discussions over these platforms. My name is Kristen Dellinger, and I am an assistant professor in the Department of Nanoengineering at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. But I wanted to share with you my closing thoughts, the things that I have been thinking about over these past few months as we've been in quarantine. And I wanted to share this quote with you, which is by an author. His name is Chris Crutcher, and he said, "Viruses have no morality, no sense of good and evil, the deserving or the undeserving. It is simply an opportunistic virus that does what it has to do to stay alive." And he was saying this in the context of HIV, which of course is still relevant and impactful in our society today, but was really a significant change in the way that we view viruses and study and treat viruses back in the 80s and 90s. But I think this quote has a lot of impact on what we're doing today in this e-conference, as well as how we're dealing and changing in response to COVID-19. At the end of the day, this virus doesn't see borders. It doesn't see cities versus rural communities. I would especially like to express my sincerest gratitude to the organizers of this wonderful conference for inviting me to speak and provide some closing remarks. As I mentioned at the top, I sincerely hope that we will all be able to get together one day in the same room and discuss and provide a retrospective on all the topics that have been discussed through this e-conference. So
To Chandak ma'am, please continue your feedback.
I was just giving mention to the fact that these days were an intellectual feast, at least for me as an academician. We could get an opportunity to listen the mesmerizing messages from the ones all across the world. I would give special mention to few names: Mr. Thomas, Ms. Mishra, and Mr. Dixit. COVID-19 has stuck the wheels of the whole world, paralyzing the whole system. Though we are utilizing our time in a best possible manner. Thank you for covering each and every perspective and giving the deep insight in the fields of politics, history, psychological, sociological, and economical impact on the world and enriching us.
Let us move on. Let us hear the concluding remarks by Principal Dr. P.R. Rajput, SSSKR Inani Mahavidyalaya, Karanjalar.
As has been eloquently narrated by the speakers, that this global pandemic COVID-19 has shaken the very foundation of human existence like never before in the history of human civilization. It has mercilessly exposed the limitations of our scientific and technological equipment in vanquishing this tiny but deadliest virus. The entire human race in the planet Earth is experiencing the excruciating pain of fear, vulnerability, susceptibility, despondency, and despair. It is the most succinctly sounded wake-up call to the entire humanity to rise above all the man-made affiliations and in the name of only one religion, that is the human religion, and unitedly work by following the rules of social distancing to get the effective remedy and restore the peaceful resistance in harmony with the omnipotent nature. As one of the organizers, I feel extremely delighted to mention that all the speeches delivered by these renowned scholars have been effectively educative, informative characteristics of their eminence and expertise in the field. As such, I am confident that outcome of the conference would enable us to find some tangible solutions to tide over the present unprecedented crisis.
I hope this crisis ends very soon. And coming to the conclusion, may I now invite Dr. R.M. Patil sir to present vote of thanks before us.
Is here with you to propose the vote of thanks of all the dignitaries, academicians, scholars, and critics, and my dear delegates. The today International Interdisciplinary E-Conference on World with COVID-19, the Humanity at Threat, Challenges and Solutions, has been inaugurated at the august hands of Honorable former President of India, Srimati Pratibhaji Patil. She is our guide, mentor, and philosopher, and a source of inspiration. Extend my sincere thanks to Madam Pratibhaji, Honorable Dr. Devi Sienji Shekhawat, the founder president of Vidya Bharati Education Society Amravati, and our present President Honorable Mr. Rao Sahib Ji Shekhawat, who is a dynamic leader and who always is with, feel very proud and privileged that Vidya Bharati as an academic institution very successfully organized this event. And it is indeed a matter of pleasure to meet all, though not in physical form, but online we could exchange our ideas, which will definitely will give a direction, and even we will be able to face the situations in which we are now and the situations tomorrow. Perhaps may not be like this as we are experiencing today, but this discussion, which will definitely prove to show very useful to show us a path ahead. So on behalf of the principal of both the colleges, I hereby declare that the International Today Conference, E-Conference is declared as it is over. Thank you. Thank you very much.
धवड़े सर का भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. थैंक यू. धवड़े सर के सहयोगी अनुराग सर, साथ में कुणाल रघुवंशी सर, और आज के कार्यक्रम का जो सूत्र संचालन जिन्होंने किया पूरा, वो हमारे ईसर सर भी यहाँ पर मौजूद है. ईसर सर ने भी पूरा कार्यक्रम अच्छी तरह संभाला आज का. और ईसर सर के लिए जो तैयारी थी वो पूरी माकोड़े सर ने की कल. माकोड़े सर का भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और इस पूरे कार्यक्रम का रजिस्ट्रेशन का और आभार पर जो काम था वो किया टेक्निकल की के मोहर सर ने.